Hey, friends, welcome back. As we're stepping into 2026, do you dare to embrace your discomfort as you step into your comfort zone? Do you dare to embrace discomfort? Go where it doesn't feel quite right, but knowing that you have a bigger goal in mind. That's what we're going to discuss. That's what we're going to talk about today. Let's dare to embrace our discomfort. Are you ready? In this video, as we discuss the levels of discomfort, and we're just going to focus on three, is to really look to see how stepping out, embracing these levels, understanding them, that will bring you to that space of growth and development that you are seeking for in 2026. And that's what we're here to unlock. Because as the year is approaching, you have goals, you have dreams, but you cannot stay comfortable to achieve those goals. Stepping out of your comfort zone is something that we are learning to embrace as a community. And that's why we're diving into this today. The first step is to redefine fear. Fears come, we all experience it, and sometimes we think of fear, it's a barrier, we might see it. But I dare you to think differently about fear. Seeing fear not as something that's preventing you from taking it to the next level, but seeing it as something that will propel you forward. See, if you stay in a space of I'm fearful, I can't, or I won't, or it's not going to happen, then you have given that fear so much power over you that it's kind of hanging over your head. It's preventing you from taking things to where you need to go. But if you look at it like, okay, well, I'm fearful. What am I afraid of? What is the worst case scenario? What is the thing that's playing in my head that's telling me that I can't or I'm hindered? So if you start to look at your fear in a different way, not looking at it as something that's crippling, but something that, okay, let me process this. What's on the other side of that fear? See, I'll give you an example. For me, when I look at my fear and look at what's on the other side, what am I going for? Then I look at the fear and I understand, okay, I'm afraid of what could possibly not happen. What am I going to put in place to ensure that I get the result that I want? Because the fear is not ever going to fully go away, at least not the way that I've looked at it. It's never gone away fully, but overcoming that fear, understanding what's making you fearful, that's a powerful place to be, because at that space, you realize that it's just a thing. It's not a full stop. It's just a way to go around it, to learn from it, to get to the other side. But anything worth doing, there's going to be some hindrance. There's going to be some hesitancy. And that's what the fear plays. It's playing the role of that. It's not a stop all. It's a pause. It's a wait a minute. It's a how important is this? How much do you want this? How much do you really need this? How valuable is this for you? You're on a growth and development journey. How much do you want to grow? The fear is a test. It's not the end all. And once you start identifying and looking at fear that way, it's a game changer. And I want you to have those victories. So you're having that victory. You realize what it is. The second thing I want you to discuss with you is small things matter. Small steps, small, consistent steps makes a world of difference. To achieve whatever your goal is, you're not going to bulldoze into it all at once. If something that's important, you got to be calculated. You start to think, okay, how am I really going to achieve that? Small steps matters. And you might say, Beretta, what do you mean by small steps matters? Well, it matters when you start taking small actions. You could start, for example, things that I've done and I'm sharing with you. You could start saying, you know what, the next meeting, I'm going to speak up. As I know the topic that's coming up, I'm going to prepare myself so that way I could present something. I could have a conversation. I could say, wait a minute, I'd like to add this. My voice will be heard. It matters. Your voice does matter. But you've got to be willing and be prepared to share the things that's there for you. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to post something that, they could reflect on. Whatever it is, I'm going to start going to the gym. For me, right now, as I'm going out, it's cold where I'm at. I'm going outside. I'm going to run outside Not in my comfort zone, not in the gym, but I'm going to take it outside because I have a goal, I have a dream. I have something that I'm achieving and working towards. I'm going to make those sacrifices. Do I want to? Yeah, it's a little cold. It's out of my comfort zone, but I don't want to stay comfortable. These are different things that you could do, reflect on different things that you could start, speaking up in a meeting. It could be build a gratitude journal. I'm going to talk about what I'm grateful for. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to acknowledge the thing that matters. If you are negative, you tend to lean on the negative side. I'm going to look to see the positive in things and write them down. In my bathroom mirror, whatever it is, when you are daring to step out of your comfort zone, you find things that you don't normally do and you start making them as part of your routine. You start making them as the thing that becomes your norm. Although at first it may feel kind of cringy and uncomfortable, but that's a good place to be. That's where you want to be because you're daring to step out of your comfort zone. Lastly, I want us to reflect and adapt. After you've taken the risk, you're redefining, you're looking at the fear, you're not fearful. You like, you know what? I'm not going to stay fearful. I'm going to take action. I'm going to go beyond it. You're going to speak up in meetings. You're going to do things that that's not necessarily your norm. The third thing I want you to do is reflect. Reflect and adapt. What's happened since I've taken on those risks? What's happened since I've redefined my fear? Reflect on the things because it's not just action, action, action and not stop. For it to become part of your culture, part of the things that you do, reflect on it. Reflect and learn to adapt these things in your day-to-day life, day-to-day activity. Start to think, okay, how can I continue with this? How can I make this part of who I am, part of what defines me? It's not just going to miraculously happen. Just because you raised your hand once, you brought up something nice in the meeting, you communicated and it was received, but you don't do that next week, you don't do that in a different scenario, you don't do that next month, then you back to your whole habit. You kind of crawl back into what's comfortable. No. As we're stepping out of our comfort zone, as we're learning to do things that is a little different to achieve the result that you so desire to achieve. Go all the way. Don't start and say, whoo, that was good. I did that. And then that's that. No. I did that. And that felt good. Or that felt a little too challenging. Let me see, how can I tweak things? Because you want to be comfortable in the process of it all. You want to be comfortable and feel like I'm developing new habit. I'm developing thicker skin. I'm developing greater quality of conversations. I'm developing different way of handling things, not just going by being negative. I'm learning to be positive. I'm writing things down. I'm inspired. I'm inspiring others. Great things are happening, but take them captive. Achieve those things once. It's nice, but making them part of your culture, part of who you are, part of your aura, part of the way you communicate and inspire and speak and show up, that becomes your new norm. And once you stop, you're reflecting, you start to see how can I adapt that, not just in the work settings, but in my home setting, with my homeboys, my homegirls, my buddies, my friends, my family. Then it becomes who you are. See, I want us to develop habits that will last in 2026 as you're entering. I want us to dare ourselves to stay out of that comfort zone. Dare ourselves to be uncomfortable so that way we could achieve greater things. It is your time. It is my time. It is our time. Is it going to feel good initially? Yeah, probably not. But the reward outweighs anything. And I want you to have that reward. I want to continue to have that reward. That's why I'm pushing myself, getting myself out there, doing this, whatever it takes. These are things that you're making deposit in your future. And whatever deposit I can support you and propel you forward on making, I want to do that. This is your time. This is your opportunity. Dare to step out of your comfort zone. Dare to give your dreams, your goals, an opportunity, a chance, a voice. Dare to stay away from what has hindered you and make it what propels you. That fear, that uncomfortable, that uncertainty, it's all an opportunity for your growth and development. Once you can achieve, once you can see it as that, then it's not something that you're staying away from. You're fearful of your. No, it doesn't have that power anymore. You see it for what it is. I hope this finds you well. I hope this resonates with you. Please share, like, subscribe, share with someone else. We all have goals and dreams, and we all aspire to do greater things. Let's do it together. Let's lock arms. Let's let go of fear in 2026, and let's move, let's propel forward as we are on an elevation journey. I hope this finds you well. As always, it's always great to talk to you. Be good to yourself and be good to others. I will catch you next time. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.